Okay, here we're predicting the New York Jets record. So looking at their roster, the offense looks really good. Obviously they got Aaron Rodgers. Their wide receivers are good. Their tight ends are not good though, and the running back, I'm not sure how Brees Hall is gonna do when he's coming back, but I don't think he's gonna do that well. Offensive line, somewhat concerning with injuries, especially if Becton gets injured again. But if their offensive line stays healthy, they should have a pretty above average offensive line. But if they do get injuries to especially back then, I think their line is gonna be a weakness. So you have your first game versus the Bills. Jets. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be in a brand new, pretty much a Hackett is gonna install a brand new system in the New York Jets roster. I think the Bills offense is too explosive, even for that Jets defense to contain. So I'm gonna take the Bills. Then you have week two versus the Cowboys. Pretty similar to the story from week one. Cowboys have such a good pass rush and secondary and the Jets offense is still so new. Um, and the Cowboys have a home field advantage. I see the Cowboys winning. And then week three versus the Patriots, pretty much another team with a very tough defense. Jets haven't beaten Patriots in a really long time, so I'm gonna take the Patriots. Then you have a game versus the Chiefs. Chiefs, another team with just a too explosive, so explosive an offense. I do think the Jets can give the Chiefs trouble, and this could be a potential upset for the Chiefs. But I don't trust the Jets yet. I'm still taking the Chiefs. Then you have a game versus the Broncos. Broncos do have a huge home field advantage, right? And I think the Jets offense will struggle because of it. And the Broncos have another very good defense, and the Broncos have good offense. But I do think the Jets defense is better. But I think the Jets offense will struggle too much, especially against Pat Surtain. So I'm gonna take the Broncos here. Then you have a game versus the Eagles. Eagles, their offense with that three-headed monster is great. The Jets do have a little weak spot at linebackers, which I think will be a huge problem, especially with the option run for the Eagles. So I'm gonna take the Eagles here. Then you have them versus the Giants. Jets are coming off a bye. Giants don't really have a home field advantage at all. And I think the Jets are a lot more talented than the Giants, so I'm gonna take the Jets here. Then you have them versus the Chargers. Chargers also have a very good team and a very good defense with players like J.C. Jackson, Joey Bosa, Mack. And they have a good offense, though I do think the Jets have a better defense um, than the Chargers have offense. Although the Chargers wide receiver can cause problems for not great Jets safeties, but Jets have too big of a home field advantage. I'm gonna give it to the Jets. Then you have a game versus the Raiders. Raiders, their team isn't great, but they do have some good skill position players like Adams and Jacobs. Jets Jets defense is like 10 times better than the Raiders, but the Raiders have too big of a home field advantage to me, and um, Raiders just win these type of games. So I'm gonna take the Raiders here. Then you have Week 11 versus the Bills. Um, Jets, I think their team talent wise can compete with the Bills now. The Bills definitely still have the experience advantage, but I don't see the Bills sweeping the Jets this time. So I'm gonna give it to the Jets. Then you have a Friday nighter for against the Dolphins Friday night. So it is a short week for the Dolphins. Jets, I think their defense matches up well versus the Dolphins. Jets defense secondary can definitely contain Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and the Dolphins don't really have a threat of running the ball as much. And the Dolphins defense is good as well though, so this one could definitely be close. But I'm gonna take the Jets here. Then you have them versus the Falcons. Falcons run game can definitely cause problems, but I think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets skill position players are just too good for that Falcons defense. So I'm gonna give it to the Jets. Then you have a game versus the Texans. Pretty similar thing to the Falcons. Texans do have some new position players, but their defense isn't good enough and they're too inexperienced. So I'm gonna give it to the Jets. Then you have them versus the Dolphins. Pretty Dolphins. Dolphins are too talented. I'm big fan of an experienced coordinator, and the Dolphins do have a very explosive offense, and I don't see the Jets sweeping them. So I'm gonna take the Dolphins here. Then you have a game versus the Commanders. Commanders talent wise is just not on the Jets level. Defensive line, especially if the Jets have a injured offensive line, can definitely dictate this game. But I feel like with a healthy Jets offensive line, they can slow down the Commanders' pass rush, and the Commanders' secondary and offense isn't all that. So I'm taking the Jets here. You have a Thursday night against the Browns. Browns have home field advantage in a short week. Um, Browns, they do have very talented run game with Nick Chubb, and maybe Deshaun Watson gets healthy, but I feel like the Jets defense is better and will cause too much problems for Watson and the Browns wide receiver. The Browns offense or the Browns defense, I don't think is all that good. I think Jets offense is better than Browns defense, so I'm giving to the Jets. And week 18 versus the Patriots, I said this in my Patriots game. I feel like it's about time the Jets beat the Patriots, so I'm gonna give it to Jets the final week. The Jets the final win of the season. So Indiana have the Jets going 9-8, 3-3 in the division, 5-4 home and 4-4 away.